Hello everybody and welcome to the first video of 2020. Yes, that's how I say it, just get over it. 2020, there you go again. Hope you like it. Anyway, today we're going to be driving the Kenworth K100E once again. Well, some frozen food to take from Fresno, California across to Kingman in Arizona. The name of this particular series is Truckin Talk. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to transport these goods and we're going to have a chat about some of the topical things happening in and around gaming at the moment, and I'm going to be really interested in your views on some of this stuff. Just as a bit of a heads up, we're going to talk about the latest Microsoft Flight Simulator video that was out a couple of days ago, showcasing the latest weather engine they've got going on. We're also going to cover the favourite games or your top games of 2019, so I'm going to talk through mine there. And then if we have time, I'm going to just throw in a bit of a random subject, which is tabletop sports, so we'll cover that off also. But before we do that, let's jump into the truck. It helps if we get in, and there goes our trailer just sitting over there, so let's get it in gear. I'm using my range splitter, the 3D printed one that I talked about in a previous video. So we'll just get ourselves around here. It's a little bit tight around this part of the yard. And let's get it in reverse. And have I given myself enough room is the question. I can barely see. Should be there very soon. There we go. Alright, that was a bit tricky really. A lot more tricky than it should have been. Let's just jump outside. Check out that trailer. It's a decent sized trailer for sure. So let's jump back into the cab. And let's get out of here. Bit of weight to this thing. Before we get into some of the things we're going to chat about today, everybody, I just want to mention the Australian bushfires. And I don't know if you've had a chance to catch up on the news, but it's absolutely devastating what's happening over there at the moment. Huge parts of New South Wales and Victoria, which are two states over there, that are absolutely ravished by these huge bushfires that are just burning out of control. We're over in New Zealand, which is a couple of thousand miles there or thereabouts, away from where all the bushfires are. And I'm going to throw some photos up right now, and these were taken at about 2:33 p.m. this afternoon here in New Zealand. And it hasn't come through as clear as I'd like, but basically it's like looking through some of those orange sunglasses. The whole sky was a bright orange. It's very, very dark. So when I say bright orange and then say dark, that's sort of an oxymoron, but it's very, very dark, but a bright orange colour in the sky, if you can imagine that. And that's just the result of all the smoke that's come across from the bushfires, which just sort of shows the scale of these bushfires that are happening over there. But my thoughts go out to everybody over there in Australia that are affected by these bushfires. They're pretty horrendous, that's for sure. And let's hope that some rain comes very soon, because they desperately need it over there. So a big shout out to all my Aussie mates over there suffering through that at the moment. Helps if I get up to a higher gear. But yeah, those skies are absolutely crazy. Let me try to just reset my view right here. There we go. Alright, let's get on with it. Alright, it's been a while since I've actually driven some American Truck Simulator, it'd be fair to say. Had a bit of a break over the last few weeks to recharge. Had a couple of weeks off work, back tomorrow. I'm recording this on a Sunday New Zealand time. Back into work tomorrow, so it's Sunday. This will go up on a Monday New Zealand time, very early in the morning, which is usually around about midday on the western side of the United States. There or thereabouts is usually the time that this video goes out, or about sort of middle to late afternoon in the UK if you're watching from there. I've got to get a nice wide arc coming around here. There we go. Get that trailer. Yes, for some reason I think my views have reset with the update, because this isn't quite right. I don't usually have to look so far across. But anyway, let's just go with it. Let's move up to 7. And one thing, someone in the comments recently, in my last video in fact, said that I don't have to clutch in to go from low to high. So let's just test that out now. He said just take it off the foot off the accelerator. No, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Okay, for some reason that switch isn't working at all at the moment. Okay, we are back, everybody, and I'm in a way too higher gear or lower gear, I should say. Higher gear, I should say. We'll get there eventually. Let's get into 7L. Now, I think I've fixed the problem, so let's try it now. We'll flick the switch up. No, that doesn't work. I definitely have to clutch it. So that doesn't seem to work where you just lift the accelerator and it works. So I definitely have to clutch it for my going from low to high or back to low. Alright, let's just slow this thing down a bit. There's no use getting tickets this time of day. There we go. We'll throw some autopilot on, or cruise control, I should say. Well, that was a little bit messy for a start, but anyway, let's get into some of these topics. The first thing I wanted to discuss today is the Microsoft Flight Simulator weather video that came out just a couple of days ago. And I'm very much looking forward to the release of this particular simulator. It's really shaping up nicely, and I don't know if you guys have had a chance to check it out. But what it showed is that snow and other weather conditions will certainly, or in other words, seasonal conditions will certainly be in the game. And that's not unusual at all for a Microsoft Flight Simulator. In fact, most of them have had that in it, particularly the last couple of iterations. But one thing that's very, very impressive with the way they do it on this version of the simulator is just how it interacts with the scenery. Because if as you remember, if you've seen the videos thus far, the scenery is unbelievable. You know, you've got that 3D photorealistic renditions of all the scenery that you're flying over. Very, very sharp, looking really good. And what this layer of snow or whatever is happening at the time, it interacts beautifully with it. So it looks really, really natural. That's the first thing that I noticed, was that you had the shadows and the patches in the right place, and it didn't look like it was just a layer stuck over the top of another layer. So that was very, very impressive. The other thing was the dynamic way that it actually coats everything. So rather than it being off or on, so it's either fully covered in snow or completely clear, it sort of lightly dusts things for a start, like the top of trees, the top of buildings, all that sort of thing. And then as the more and more snow falls, the patches get smaller, get bigger and bigger. The snow patches get bigger and bigger. In other words, it's sort of a gradual increase of the amount of snow lying around on the scenery, and that's really, really impressive. And when you see it in action on the video that they produced, it just makes me even more excited for this title. It seems like they've thought of everything, and it looks like that it certainly interacts with the runways too. Although we didn't get a very close-up view. Let me just bang that down to there. Let's just change some gears here, boys. Oops, having a bit of a shocker here. That was a shocker. They didn't really give us a really hardcore look at the runways. Let me just get up here and concentrate on driving for 2 seconds. But you could see a couple of runways in the distance, and they looked like they were coated fully in snow if it had been snowing and all that sort of stuff. So it looks like they've done an absolutely brilliant job with that. I haven't been selected for the Tech Alpha, but I'd love to be. I could have probably gone then, by the way. I think my track IR is actually set, because usually reset. Oh no, maybe it's okay. We've got a lot of traffic here to wait for, everybody. Yeah, so what was I saying? I was talking about the Tech Alpha. Yeah, I'm not in the Tech Alpha. I wish I was. But I assume, from what I understand, there will be an open beta at some stage, and then hopefully pretty much everybody will get on board it, once that's been confirmed. So far so good. Another fantastic video. This one was only a minute long, the last one that they put out. But it just confirmed that there will be seasonal changes in the weather, which is absolutely fantastic. So looking forward to that for sure. Okay. Getting past this burger joint right here. One thing I am worried about a little bit is my sleep. It looks like my sleep is my little bed with my man on it's fully blue. That could be a problem. I've only got 319 miles to go though. It's not a heck of a long way to go. So we might be getting a little bit tired towards the end of this. But hopefully... Oh, I'm going way too fast here, everybody. Helps if I stay in 5. See, I'm a little bit... Just a little bit rusty. And let's throw our cruise control on there. Just to make sure that we don't get any tickets. Keen to avoid those for sure. No, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Yes, it worked this time, did it? Now it did. I'm on 28. That's fine. Close enough. Wow, what a mess. Okay, let's carry on. So that's it. Yeah, looking forward to Microsoft Flight Simulator. And yeah, that video was really, really impressive. So they're doing a really good job there. So that's the first thing. So the second thing I wanted to discuss today is top games of 2019. So tell me down in the comments, what are your top games for 2019? Now, there's no set criteria. Number one, the first piece of criteria that you don't have to follow is that it doesn't have to be a game that actually launched in 2019 or was released in 2019. I've put together a top 5 list of games, my favourite games for 2019. And almost all of them, I think, in fact, a majority of them is what I would say, were not actually launched in 2019. The way I've rated my list is basically which ones did I play the most? Which games did I play the most in 2019? And look at over there, everybody. We've got a Coca-Cola trailer looking good. And so I've put a top 5 list together of the games that and of course I must have enjoyed them if I played them a lot. So that sort of, makes sense also. So before I get into my top 5 list though, I've got a couple of special mentions. So these are ones that I played quite a bit, but don't quite make my top 5 lists. The first one is Gold Rush the Game, which I've done some videos on. So I've definitely played that a decent amount of hours. Not a huge number of hours, but I certainly got into it, and I still do really enjoy it. There's just not enough hours in the day or in the week to play all these games. That's the problem. So that's a special mention to Gold Rush the Game. The second game that gets a special mention is... Oh, there we go. I'm starting to yawn. How we're looking 3:13 still. Whew, let's hope we can hold on. We're going to get very tired towards the end of this. I don't really want to take a rest because then it will be in the dark. The second game is Out of the Park Baseball. Now, I pretty much get this every year, and I'm usually involved with an online league, which means I play a decent amount. This year I haven't played it anywhere as much as I have in the past. I've just played other games. That's just the way it's worked. There we go. We've got our cruise control sorted this time. But it's certainly a game I still play fairly regularly, so I'll give that a special mention. It's an outstanding game, particularly for those people who love baseball. I mean, if you don't like baseball, why would you play it? But that would be one out of the park. And the third game I just want to give a special mention in 2019 is Football Manager 19. I did actually play that. I did a few videos also and played that quite a bit. It's also a really, really good series. I think it's got... Whoa, look at these bloody tumbleweeds! Whew! Gave me a bit of a fright. We're okay, though. They're not harmful. But, yeah, Football Manager, I reckon it's so bloody complex. And I enjoy football. I know a decent amount about it. I'm talking about soccer football here, everybody. But I don't know it to the absolute real detail that you probably need to know it to really be good at that game. So that frustrates me a little bit, but it's still a very, very good title, so that gets a special mention too. I sort of go on binges with that. I play it for a month or so, then never play it for 9 months, and then get back into it. But anyway, that's Football Manager. But anyway, here's my top 5 list. We'll finally get to it. And what have we got? 284 miles. Geez, this sleep thing's going to be a problem, I think, everybody. Let's hope we can survive. We'll see what happens. So my top 5 list, starting with number 5. This game has came out a couple of years ago, but it's got ongoing development, and I think it's a one-man developer from memory, but it's called Subsistence. You may or may not know about it. It's on Steam. It's basically a survival game, and essentially you've got to survive on the land by killing animals for their fur and their meat, fishing, all that sort of stuff. Then you build a base, and you can start building a whole lot of stuff like your workbench, storage lockers, beds, windmills and solar panels for power generation, all that sort of stuff. So it's basically a survival game, and it's really, really enjoyable. In fact, this is a game in the last month I've probably played the most of. I played heaps of it over the holiday period, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. Look, I'm in the red now on the bed. Oh well, we'll just go for it. Let's just go for it, everybody. And so that is a really cool game. So that's my number 5 top game for 2019. As you can see, it's not based on top releases out there or anything. It's just my personal list of games I played a lot of. So there's that one. Number 4 is this game right here that we're playing, American Truck Simulator. And I sort of played it on and off throughout the year, but I started to get back into it. Is it saying it's 11:19 p.m. and it's still broad daylight? That can't be right. Is that right? Oh, ETA. That's ETA. It's 6:12 p.m. Man, I'm having a shocker. We might actually stop and sleep. Yeah, we might stop and sleep, but not yet. Not until it gets a bit closer to sort of maybe 9 o'clock at night or something like that. So then, by the time we wake up, it's light again. So yeah, American Truck Simulator, and this is a game that I sort of drift in and out of just as I have time. Oh, shit, that guy in front of me is a little bit slow, isn't he? Let me just get into 7 low here. Boom, there we go. And let's get the cruise control on. But yeah, fantastic game, continually updated. New areas being released all the time, new zones, new maps and scenery, that sort of stuff. And of course, the modding community is absolutely sensational. Oh, Mace, what am I up to here? Oh, that could have been a tragedy. Now it's cut across before the guy. Oh, Mace. It helps if you focus on what you should be doing, everybody. But yeah, as you know, American Truck Simulator, absolutely brilliant. I really love it. All the you know, like particularly this truck here, the Kiwi K100E, love it. I've got a bunch of mods. So just for those who don't know, the mods that I've got installed on here, the main ones are real logos, real gas stations. What else have I got? I've got engine sounds. I've got, I can't even bloody remember. Like trailer logos of real companies, all that sort of stuff. So, in a bunch of different DLC that you can buy in the store. So yeah, really a great game. Love it, love it. And that's my number 4 for 2019. Number 3, it's a sports game, Cricket 19. Now, this is actually a sports and simulation channel. That's what I've set it up to be. And I don't actually play that much sport on it anymore, really. But I'm looking to do it, and I've actually got a suggestion at the end that I'm going to talk about. I'll be interested to see your feedback on that. It helps if I put my foot down and catch up with this traffic. But Cricket 19, yeah, look, I mean, if you're not from countries that play cricket, you're probably not that keen on it. It's kind of like baseball, but not really. And it's, you know, it's a fantastic game. Cricket 19, I really enjoy playing it. I've put a lot of hours into it. That one's on the PlayStation 4 that I play it. And I generally play the career mode, and it's a really fun game. They've done a really good job recreating, you know, the all aspects of cricket. In fact, I think it's the best cricket game ever made. That's my personal opinion. I know a lot of people have got their nostalgia goggles on when they look back at some of the others, and there have been some fantastic cricket titles in the past, but this one, I keep looking at the rear vision mirror, by the way, just to see what's going on. I should get across to this lane. That works. So it's really fantastic. So I'm really enjoying that. And of course, once again, it's got the modding community, and that's allowed you, because it doesn't have all the licenses for every single team, but you can really easily update those, all the logos for bats, for gear, all that sort of stuff. And so you can play with real players, real teams, all that sort of thing really, really easily. So no, it's been a fantastic game. And that's my number 3 game for 2019. Okay, it's getting to a point now where I'm seriously considering stopping. Let's just take a quick look at the map, shall we? Hold on, let's get on a... What we'll do is we'll take a quick look in a minute, everybody. We'll just go... Now, look at the map, and how far will we have to go? Hold on. Oh, it's there. There's no real places to stop, is there? Oh, there's somewhere close to it. It would have to be right in here. It would have to be here in Bairstow. Oh, we might have, but if we do that, I think you sleep for about 8 hours. That'd be fine. It'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning. No, I'm just gonna risk it, everybody. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. Why not? How do I turn my lights on? There we go. Alright, yeah, I know I'm tired. I'm risking it. So that's number 3, Cricket 19. Whoa, Mace. Okay, number 4. No, number 2. Number 2, we're counting down. That's right, remember now. Number 2 is X-Plane 11. And that probably comes as, well, actually, for some of you probably think that that's my number 1 game. And it's certainly got a... Oh, what's happened here? Oh my god, I cut out my engine. So what happens when you don't focus, everybody? A lot of you might have thought that X-Plane 11 would be my number 1 game, because I do a lot of content on X-Plane 11, and it's definitely one of my favourite games at the moment, for sure. But it's not my most played game, and that's what I've determined my list on, as the most played game. It's probably my favourite game at the moment, I would say, although I enjoy all these games, so it's very, very hard to pick. But it would be my second top played game for 2019, and yeah, I really enjoy it. I mean, obviously with Microsoft Flight Simulator coming up, you know, there's going to be... Oh, what the hell's going on here, everybody? I have no idea, but I'm going to cut across here. There was nothing coming. I was fine. That would not be... if I was doing a driving test, that would not pass. So, yeah. X-Plane 11. Yeah. And obviously, with what I was going to say, with Microsoft Flight Simulator coming, I'm definitely going to be playing that a lot, there's no doubt. But I'm certainly going to continue to play X-Plane 11. As I said in my video saying... Microsoft Flight Simulator will kill X-Plane, or will it? I think there's a number of factors that will mean people will continue to play X-Plane, and particularly for those who enjoy flying certain aircraft that just won't be available. I think that's going to be a big thing, particularly if you've got a complex aircraft that's got all the systems and you want to, you know, continue to fly that aircraft, then you probably stick with X-Plane for flying that aircraft. But there's no doubt that Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to be exceptionally popular, particularly if the specifications that they're talking about, in other words, it's not going to be that hard on your system. If that does come true, then that's going to really make it accessible for a lot of people. But my key point around specifications is, yes, you might be able to play it, but are you going to be able to play it to the level in which they're promoting at the moment? And that's my key point, because that's what they're promising people. All these videos, getting people amped up, is it going to deliver that? If it does, they've got an absolute winner immediately. So we'll keep an eye out for that. So that's my number 2, X-Plane 11. So just to recap and I'll get to number 1 just in 2 seconds. But to recap my list thus far: number 5, Subsistence. Number 4, American Truck Simulator. Number 3, Cricket 19. Number 2, X-Plane 11. And now the number 1 game that I have played in 2019. And this is probably going to come, in fact, maybe none of you know. I don't think I've mentioned this game at all. I certainly have done no videos on this game on my channel. I keep looking at my rear vision mirror. Hopefully that's not annoying everybody. But this is a game that I don't think anybody knows that I play, basically. And my number 1 game played by a really wide margin. I've played this game probably 5, 6, 7 more times over than every other game, so, you know, 5, 6, 7 times the amount, and that is World of Warcraft. Would you believe? World of Warcraft. And if you asked me even just 18 months ago whether I would play that, I would just say there's no chance. It's not something I'm really interested in. But what actually happened was, I think we'll make this from a tiredness point of view, by the way. I actually started watching a few videos in middle of last year. Year before, 2018. Middle of 2018, I started watching videos by people who are making gold. Oh, I've got to pull in here. Bugger. Oh, it's annoying. Where is it? By people who are making gold on World of Warcraft. And if you've looked at some of my other sports videos, one thing I do like doing is playing the auction house. So that's really what got me interested in the game. Anyway, then I got kind of obsessed with making as much gold as I could. And so really that's what I've been doing. I've been playing a lot of it. I haven't actually, now that I say that, in the last 3 months I've hardly played it really. But in the first sort of 9 months of the year I played it incessantly. I know this is more realistic to go to these, but they're a bit annoying. Anyway, so yeah, I played a tremendous amount of World of Warcraft. I'd hate to know how much. and I managed to get, for those who do follow that game, I managed to get the Brutosaur mount, which was my big aim. For a start, I knew nothing about gold making, so it took quite a while just to get any sort of gold. But once I got into the professions and all that sort of stuff, and learned how to use TSM and a few of those other auction house programs, it actually became quite easy, and it was just a case of putting in the time and understanding your market. So I've made millions of gold doing that, and it's been a heck of a lot of fun. And also did other stuff within the game. I didn't do any raiding, and that's one thing I do want to get into now that I'm sort of into the game, I suppose. Well, I should be going 15 here. Come on, mate. Now that I'm sort of into the game, I would like to do some raiding maybe. But really it's professions and gold making is where it's at for me. But I haven't really done it, like I say, the last three months. But a new patch is about to drop in a week or so. And so I'll be looking to get back into it there. So yeah, that's my top played game of 2019, which I'm sure does come as a bit of a shock to some of you. You probably didn't know, which is all good. Probably some of you play it yourself, and if you do, let me know down in the comments. So there you go. So my top 5 games for 2019, and this is purely based on how much I played them. Number 5, Subsistence. Let me get around this turkey. Number 4, American Truck Simulator. Number 3, Cricket 19. Number 2, X-Plane 11. And number 1, World of Warcraft. Spot the odd one out, eh? Oh, Mace. Just about drove off. That's what happens when you get too tired. So yeah, there goes my top 5. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Oh, not what you think. Well, yeah, tell me what you think if you like. But tell me what are the top 5 games that you guys have played in... oh, look, we've got a plane coming in over there. That's cool. In 2019. So there we go. It was just a little interesting thing I thought would be cool to have a chat about. Let me just... Am I over-revving here? Kinda. It's not too bad. It's sort of right on the edge of wanting to change, but not quite. Let's do it anyway. Oh, I'm having real trouble with this. Yeah, I know I'm getting tired. I'm in real trouble with my Switch at the moment. For some reason it doesn't want to work. Okay. Oh well. I have to work on that. I think it could actually be my USB input. It's been playing up. I've got like a USB board, like multi-panel board thing, whatever you call them. USB extender, I think. Yeah, oh, there we go. We got it. I don't know what happened there. I have no idea what happened there, but we got it. Anyway, so yeah, top 5 games. We're getting close to our destination, just 77 miles away. So, the last thing I wanted to chat about was, now this, as I mentioned, this channel is primarily it's really a simulation channel now, to be honest. I haven't played that many sports on it. But I definitely want to continue to do sports videos because I do enjoy sports games. So one thing I was thinking of doing is something I've got into in the past probably 3 or 4 months, maybe a little bit longer, is tabletop sports games. And so the most famous of those that you probably have heard of is Stratomatic. And this is like card and dice games. So what you do is you can replay seasons of the past. And so, for example, you might want to play the 2018 Red Sox or the 2012 Yankees or the 1924 Chicago Cubs or something like that, and you can replay individual games, or you could replay whole seasons just to see what would happen, you know, if you replayed them. You can change your lineups, you do whatever you like, you know, and you use the cards and the dice, and it's a bit of a game of chance, but obviously the better players will have more chance of doing well, all that sort of stuff. And there's a range of different types of games. You've obviously got baseball, which has got a ton of different games. How about, what's the time here? 10:15. Let's pull in here and let's rest, because then we can get some light just for this last little part of our trip. And let me just wreck my gearbox while we do that. Oh, I'm dozing. Oh no! Oh! It's a tragedy. Oh my god. Just as I pull in. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, into a gas station too. You could not think of a worse place to doze off. If that happened in real life, that would not be good scenes. There's no doubt about it. Oh no. I thought it might be an issue. Lucky I pulled in here. Here we go. Stop the engine and let's rest. Boom. Get this rest. And here we go. We're at 8:19. Great. That's fine. And then let's start back up. Alright. Now we've got light and we're not going to crash our truck. Well, we might crash our truck, but it won't because we were sleeping. Anyway, so yeah, Stratomatic. So I've focused on baseball for the replays because that's just, you know, the American sport I'm most into. But you can get these tabletop sports games for basketball, you can get it for football, you can get it for soccer, you can get it for basketball, you can get it for hockey, you can get it for basically everything. And a lot of them, you can get it for golf too. A lot of them will have the cards and dice version, so you roll your dice and then you refer to the card to see what the outcome of the play would be. But some do have computer versions, and for example, I picked up the Stratomatic PC version, which has all the same rules, the same sort of gameplay as you would use if you're using physical cards and dice. You do actually have the option of rolling dice yourself manually and then entering the results in. Or you can get the computer to roll the dice. I like to roll it myself because this is what I like to do. But the only thing with the Stratomatic, particularly baseball, is like the UI is really outdated. So it's not the greatest to look at, to be fair. But there are a bunch of add-ons and mods that you can do to it to at least make it look a little bit better. But it's not like, it doesn't look as good as Out of the Park Baseball or anything like that. But the game itself is really great. I really enjoy it. So what I'm thinking of doing perhaps in the next, this year, is maybe running some videos on some tabletop sports, just, to sort of, I think it sort of is a bit more in the simulation angle. It's still sports, but it's sort of a sports simulation, as opposed to arcadey type sports games like, the ones you actually control the individual players and stuff like that. So let me know down in the comments, is that something you think you'd like to see on the channel? It's definitely something that I'd like to do. And it would either be the cards and dice, so I can actually have the camera showing the cards and that, but I haven't quite got the setup for that, to be fair, to get it to the quality that I'd like. So what I might do for a start is to do Stratomatic Baseball and run a few games, and I'll roll the dice manually and have the camera so you can see what the dice outcomes are. Well, you'll still be able to see them because I've got to input them, but you can actually see that they're legit. And then, run a replay of a season or a replay of, a playoff series or whatever. And do it that way. So let me know what you think. Let me try this shifter here. There we go, it's working now. Okay, let's keep it down to low. So that's what I'm looking at doing from a tabletop sports point of view. So what do you reckon? It might be something. Oh, Mace, I took it out of cruise control. Man, that was a shocker. I'm having an absolute shocker driving today, but that's not unusual. Even when I've played this a lot, I'm still a bit of a shocker. So that was really the third thing I wanted to talk about, was tabletop sports, and maybe throw in a few videos of that on here, just as the odd thing. I mean, I think flight simulation particularly, and truck simulator, and all these different ones here, they'll certainly still be the most common types of videos that I have on my channel. I used first to slow it down there. Probably should have used the exhaust brakes and my normal brakes. Nothing behind us. Not far to go now, everybody. We're just 3 miles away from our destination. So yeah, but having just a little bit of variety in there. And that is quite a bit different than what you'd expect, to be honest. But like I say, it's a bit more along the actual simulation side of sports. In a way. Anyway, here we go, guys. We've got our frozen foods. We'll bring them up here to Kingman. It should be the Walmart, or we're actually taking it to FedEx, are we? We discovered we haven't been here before, by the looks of it. Let's just bang down to 4 here, everybody. Now, do I tell them that I'm going to park it wherever they want it? Knowing my driving skills. I remember last time I had to edit out all the crappy attempts to park. Let's see if I can do it this time. Where do you need it? There we go. Surely I can do this. Head towards a red flag. Well, this kind of looks simple, but based on my driving, it could still be a challenge. But anyway, I hope you guys did have a good holiday break. I'm really looking forward to this year. The channel's been has really done really well over the last sort of couple months, and I'm really thankful for all the support that I've had, and particularly all the people that have taken the time to comment. I love it. It's really good. We don't agree with each other all the time, but that's what it's all about. Have your say. Tell me what you think about things. Let me just now I can't see where I'm supposed to. Oh, there it is there. Look at my mirror. Now this should be quite simple, although I'm not lined up at all here. And through the magic of editing and also using the outside view, we might... Yes! We can park this thing. Yay! How easy was that, everybody? What an expert I am. And how full of it I am also. Anyway, let's check out. We got an excellent. That's what it's all about. Bit of money in the bank, 14,872. We're only we're absolute noobs, but that's what it's all about anyway. It's about having a bit of fun. So, hey, look, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for joining me for the first time in 2020. That's right, that's how I say it. Just get over it. And I really look forward to throwing some more videos out there this year. So, please make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time, everybody, take it easy.